Hi, hello. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Paloma. I am a full-time artist slash illustrator, and I am gonna make some zines this week. I do have my first time that I ever made zines in a video that you can go watch if you haven't seen it, but I am by no means an expert. I feel like I am still very much a beginner when it comes to zines, so here are some people that I recommend you watch. I watch their videos all the time to get more information and inspiration for zines. But other than that, I'm gonna get to brainstorming. I just rewatched Bratty X Bree's video all about like zine inspiration and how to find topics for it, because that's kind of where I tend to get stumped for zines. Like, I love the design and drawing process and the printing process and the binding process. I just have a hard time getting that initial push and that initial theme or subject that I want to make my zine about. So I'm gonna get to brainstorming. So I'm taking a look here at my list, and I may or may not have planted the Yakult prompt, because I've been thinking about making a Yakult zine, so I'm definitely going to do that one. And I think I also want to... I have been wanting to make a zine about my pets. Do I want to make it about all of my pets? Do I want to make one about my dogs, one about my cats? One for each one of them. But I think I do want to do that. And then maybe a vintage gaming. That's kind of a good prompt, right? I have such a strong attachment to my memories of playing my DS, my Nintendo DS, when I was a kid, and I know a lot of people do, so maybe I want to try something out with that. But for now, let's get some inspiration also from some zine layouts. Let me show you. So this is the app Spectralite, and it's unfortunately only available on Mac right now. It's originally meant to be an app where you can load in any file and it will, quote, rezoify it for you. It basically just helps you with preparing rezo files. But it also has this really neat layout tool where it shows you a lot of different zine layout options with a lot of different sizes of paper. And so let's see, sheet size, I'm gonna use letter sheets. And I think for my Yakult zine, I want to do this one. And then I would be able to load in my files like this, but say, okay, my publication, like it says here, has 24 pages, layout with numbered pages. And then it'll tell me exactly where to put my designs, my pages on like one sheet of paper. Because that's essentially the most confusing part of making zines, right? Is figuring out like, okay, where does my page 1 go? And then page 2 goes here. Like, it's not... Highly recommend. It is a free app if you have access to Mac OS. This is great. So this is what I'll be using to basically format my zines, and this is the size that I'll be doing for my Yakult zine, and I'm gonna aim for those 24 pages, honestly. So this Yakult zine is actually, I think, one of my first zines where I don't do a lot of drawing or illustrating. I am actually doing much more collage or looking for images to put in the zine versus drawing them myself. And I actually ended up finding a part of the Yakult website where they show all of the countries where they do sell or like export Yakult, which was very helpful, and also kind of like one of like the more fun parts of making zines, I feel like, because zines are kind of like a little bit of a deeper dive into a specific subject matter. So I don't know, I just never really looked into where Yakult is sold globally, and apparently it's in a lot of places, and they have a whole page on their website for showing you exactly where they sell Yakult. But I ended up just like putting everything black and white because I knew that I wanted this zine to be just one color on my rezo, so
the file setup was fairly simple.
So I spent all morning getting my Photoshop stuff done, and I basically have all of my pages done except for the front and back cover because I want to draw that on my iPad. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I don't know, the zine will essentially be finished. It just needs to be printed and stuff. So that's exciting. I have laid out my zine, which is like the most painstaking part, and now I have to pick my paper color, which, let's see. Probably gonna end up using my speckled paper again.
Hello. Hello. What are you doing?
What the hell? Sorry, hold on.
What's up?
Trying.
After wrapping up my Yakult scene, I actually was feeling not as inspired, or maybe a better word would be confident in my own work. And one of like the best little remedies for me in terms of that is kind of working through others, if that makes sense. Like not putting as much pressure or emphasis on like my personal stuff, and then kind of trying to view things through a different lens, or like I said, through other people's work. So my partner and I had been talking for a while about making a larger zine with like this sort of dedication to his hometown, where he grew up in Mexico. And I've been wanting to help him like get that all together. So we decided to go ahead and do that. I told him to send me all the pictures, and I got to lay them all out. It took me like a good 3 hours to get all of the composition of all the pages. This was like a really nice break from feeling the pressure of my own quote brand or quote style in a weird way. I think it's just like one of the caveats of working as an artist like in the public eye, like this weird fusion of artist and content creator, is that you feel like you kind of have to upkeep this image or this certain quote aesthetic in order to be appealing to, you know, an audience.
So we have been over here in my Rezo corner a lot, but I have now officially, finally, finished setting up the files for the photography zine that I am putting together for my partner. So I had decided on this white cardstock, and I kind of don't want to count how many sheets I have. Let me see. But with this, I can probably only make like 5. Let's see. Let's see how many I can make out of these. And I'm gonna start with yellow because I always start with yellow.
Oh, I wasn't not talking because of the camera. I forgot. What did you want me to use to erase the smudges?
Yep, I'm here again. Yesterday, after my partner came home, we finished up printing all of the pages for his photography zine. I didn't film a lot of the process because it was so exhausting to lay it all out in Photoshop and then like print it all out, but I used fluorescent pink, yellow, and blue for all the pictures, and so far I feel like these three colors create the best combination for like accurate photos. So I'm just gonna finish trimming these and binding them with my little machine. I have another machine that's sitting up on my shelf that I got forever ago, but it just is not very good. So I decided to get this one, and I also have my little coils in this like amberish color. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this up so I can have it done and then see what else I can move on to prep for this market coming up this weekend. As you guys saw, I also made more Rizo buttons, and I think I'm gonna continue doing that, hopefully. She was pets.
friozinho, já sei como é. Sei que o nosso amor aquece quando quer. De manhãzinho o sol nasceu, me deu esperança de beijinhos. Não espere tanto, tanto tenho a dar pra fazer o frio evaporar. Deixa de preguiça, deixa o cobertor. Deixa que hoje eu vou ser o seu calor. Sei que tá friozinho, já sei como é.
I'm back home. I also brought a new friend. He reminds me so much of the Animal Crossing frog. I had to get him, but I'm back home post-market, and I just wanted to give you guys a proper outro. This week, I learned a lot of things about myself, and I think that's like one of the beauties of working on a longer project like a zine, and by longer I mean something that doesn't take me 2 hours on my iPad. If you are new to like longer projects like that, including zines, I know it can be really daunting, but I highly encourage. I think it gives us as creatives more information than quick doodles. While both can be useful, I think I have been personally working a lot on my iPad lately. Like, I can't remember the last time that I made something with my hands that like took me longer than a day or so, or was like not meant to be a product. So while longer processes have a more opportunity to make mistakes, there's also more opportunity to learn, like I said. And mistakes are not fun in the moment, but I think later on they end up being a little bit fun. Like, for example, with my Yakult zine, I ended up changing the back cover of it, so I had to reprint that page with the back cover on it, but it was fine because then I can just use the pages that I didn't end up using for zines for buttons, Riso buttons. So that has been fun to do. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A little bit of a different one, just a little bit of a mix-up from our regular vlogs, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Before closing out today's video, I wanted to quickly mention the sponsor for today, which is of course Squarespace. If you don't know who Squarespace is, they're an all-in-one platform where you can create your very own website, and it's the platform that I have always used to run my website, my online art business, and my portfolio. They have tools that keep everything nice and easy for me, like the commerce tool especially. It helps me keep track of all of my inventory, my customer data, my order numbers, all of that not so fun stuff. So if you're interested in Squarespace, you can go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and you can use my code for 10% off your first purchase.